Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the studio, the lights are glistening. A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Alan Parsons in a winter wonderland.
Welcome in a festive episode of the Captain of Madden show, coming to you December 19th already. We are slowly approaching the Christmas season, crawling into it. Mike Madden on my side, the captain, Michael Corby on his side of things. Captain, how are you in the run up to Christmas?
I'm so excited. Santa, I know him. I can't wait.
That's good.
I can't wait for that old man to come knocking on my door in a couple of days and give me my presents.
And give you, yeah.
Excited. I can't wait.
And set you off with Yuletide cheer. So, this is we're calling this our Christmas party episode. This would be, the time of year where your company or your family or your friends have a Christmas party. This is going to be our Christmas party episode. We're going to be talking about Christmas traditions, and for the first time ever, we have Lady Energy on the podcast. Joining us is our dear, close, personal, longtime friend, Karen Paton. Karen, welcome to the Captain of Madden Christmas party.
Well, thank you. I really am your first female guest ever.
First female guest ever. We've had a few jump on, so-and-so experts, if they want to call themselves that. But this is the first time that we have a friend of ours who is, it's Lady Energy. So this is
oh my goodness,
this is exciting.
I'm so honored.
Yeah, you're like the Captain. What would you say? Like, is she the Rosa Parks of the Captain of Madden show?
No, I would say more of like. I was thinking Arthur Ashe, but that would be contrary.
No,
first. Sally Ride, wasn't she the
Sally
first
Ride was the first woman in space? Yes. This is the first woman in Captain of Madden space.
She's breaking up the boys club.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. This is hopefully the first of many female appearances, because it is good to have multiple people talking about a topic like Christmas and Christmas tradition, holiday traditions, everything that's encompassing with it. So we're leaning on you, Karen, to really
speak
make
for the
us
entire gender. I'm here.
Speak for the yes. You're the
That's
right
it.
the spokeswoman for the holiday season.
All the ladies.
That's right. That's right. But it's also, again, you're a mother. You have a unique perspective. From your side, you've come from a fairly, I wouldn't say large family, but with extended relatives. I'm sure you've got a lot of insight that'll help sort of like ring some of the Yuletide jingle bells, so to speak.
Absolutely.
When we're talking about this. So let's
basically out of the three of us, she would be the only one that would have the nightmares of how do you prepare all this food for this many people?
Oh yeah,
because we know that it's not me and you that have ever.
No.
Although I've grilled some hamburgers, but it's doing a Christmas spread is a lot different than doing a 4th of July burgers and dogs.
Oh, okay. See,
a little bit more intense.
See, the way you were saying that, I thought you were implying that like you and your family had switched to Christmas hamburgers, and of course I would segue
from your lips to God's ears.
You'd love that, right? But let's just nip this in the bud. If you were to do hamburgers on Christmas, are you going to form the patties into shapes of Christmas trees? Like a cookie cutter.
I could do a Christmas tree, or if I really wanted to get fancy, you could I'm sure you could buy something where you can, almost like brand, like the hamburger.
Yeah.
I could probably find something with like a Santa face and put it on the hamburger.
Yeah. Or a wreath. Put
yeah.
toppings in the middle.
Wreath would be good.
A little wreath, you know?
This is
why Karen's here.
I think we might have $1 million idea.
I had a dinner at a restaurant in Florida. It was called Ford's Hamburgers,
Mm.
and it was somehow associated with the automobile brand or whatever. And they like when you got your hamburger, it literally had like the Ford logo branded on top of your hamburger.
Ooh.
So there's got to be a way to do it. I can't believe that
Absolutely.
the only person that can do it is this one chef that works at the Ford's burger in Orlando,
Florida. Right. You know, a place that's really known for its Christmas decor.
Well, it is magical there.
It's magical. Yes. There's alleged magic that's going on. So let's dive into the topic at hand. Let's first start off. I think the three of us, you know, coming from, we're all similar age. So it's not like we have, you know, a millennial on the podcast with a Gen X and then, you know, a new style Gen Z, whatever it is. We don't have that.
Before you go, I'm just going to throw you a little advice, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you want more females to come on to the podcast and break up don't talk about age.
I didn't say
right?
I didn't say
just
exact
go past
age.
the age part.
Okay.
We're all friends.
All right. Yeah.
So everyone can figure out that we're all similar age.
All right. Very good. Anyway, let's talk about the traditions of Christmas when we were all growing up. Cap, I'll start with you because you're co-hosting the show. Give me a couple things from your childhood that you remember that are tied into Christmas specifically.
Oh boy. Well, I was fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it, to go to Catholic school. So Christmas was always a big deal. It really pretty much started when we came back from Thanksgiving break, which, you know, that 4-day weekend. So you had both sides of it. You had the decorating the classroom, decorating like with traditional everyday kind of like, you know, Christmas tree, Santa stuff, reindeer. But then you also had the other side of it of like the wreath with the candles, the Advent calendar,
right? Yeah.
And the Advent candles, and like there's 3 purple ones, there's pink one, like which week is the pink, you know, learning all of that stuff growing up. So yeah, and then of course like the big pageantries of, you know, going to like we would do a school mass and all of a sudden like boom, there'd be poinsettias and everything all over the church and Christmas lights all lit up on the altar. And it was like always a big deal to be like the first ones to see what like the church was going to look like for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day mass.
Right.
So that was a big thing around our family growing up, was like our association with the school and the church, and like, and it was literally, it felt like, you know, they always talk about the 12 days of Christmas. It was like 24 days of Christmas, like, because every day at school we would have little projects where we made stuff for our mom, or like we had a Christmas bazaar where like we could go and like they had little things or whatever in the gymnasium, and it was like not like a flea market, but like, you know, I could buy stuff from I basically would bring in like $10 and do my whole Christmas shopping for everybody in the family for $10. Yeah. So
it's funny you bring that up, because my youngest came home yesterday and he was like, I don't know how to get gifts for people now, because I used to have the school store, the holiday shop, and now there's no holiday shop. So is someone going to take me to the store to get gifts for everyone? And I was like, dude, I didn't factor that in. We don't have time for that right now.
So then did you just get him an Amazon account and just tell him to go wild? Just go ham on that?
I guess I should have, but I was like, we don't need presents. You could just love us.
Oh, all right. Okay. See, that's nice too.
Well, it makes you feel better, Karen. My 19-year-old was bummed that he forgot to do our shopping at the school bookstore before he left campus, and that he actually had to go out into the world and do Christmas
the real
shopping.
World. Yeah.
Like a real store. Oh no! Wow, crossing the threshold into.
Well, that and like he had to spend real money, which my cheap son hates to do.
Oh,
so,
okay.
He was gonna put it on his like college account.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Here's a great T-shirt.
Well,
Thank
no,
you for it.
yeah, you probably could have ended up with like an $85 like Yukon sweatshirt that really that would look great.
Yeah, it'd be great. Wearing really nice swag for a school I didn't go to.
But then you eventually have to pay the bill for the Christmas gifts too. So
I'm gonna let you all in on a little secret.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's gonna have a pretty good student loan at the end of his 4 years. So
all right. Well,
while his parents may overall be responsible for it, or the final responsibility, he's going to be paying it.
yes.
So
All right. Well, that's
eventually, even if he did go to the school store and got me a nice sweatshirt, eventually he would have paid for it.
that's a good point.
On lightweight. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. One way or another, it's coming out of your.
Oh,
So pivot. Let's Karen, where were you Christmas memories wise, and your, whether it's your school, your household, where do you fall into this when it comes to traditions?
So
Memories, too.
Christmas, the best Christmas memories I think I have is that we always used to wait to open Santa gifts. We would open them at midnight on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So I can remember very many years like my parents, and we never had bedtimes growing up. We went to bed whenever we wanted. We would stay up all the time. But on Christmas Eve, like, we had to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I can remember them being like, okay, go upstairs, go to bed. And then, like, so excited, like they would come up and be like, oh my God, Santa came. And we would like run down the stairs at midnight.
Okay.
And we would rip through every single package we ever did, because like the captain, going to church is a really big deal in my family. But my mom was like, we can't do that. It's really hard to do that when you're a parent. And this is something I have learned to give the children all of the cool presents at like 7 or 8 in the morning and now say to them, now wrap it all up, put it away, and we're going to go to church.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, so we always used to do ours at midnight. I think that's a holdover. I think that's a very Italian family thing to do, is to open your gifts at midnight. We always did Feast of the Seven Fishes. So we, ate all the
we're gonna
seven
get into
fishes
that.
on Christmas Eve and did all of that. Opened our presents at midnight, and then we would go to church on Christmas morning. And then we always, as you kind of said before, we always have a big family gathering, whether it's just my brothers and sisters or my parents or whomever it was at that time, all sorts of hangers on. We never had a holiday without like 25, 30 people being around the table, putting 2, 3, 4 tables together, figuring out how to get everyone in it. So it's good times.
You like that? Like, you like a full room when it comes to Christmas?
I love a full room.
Yeah.
I love a full room all the time.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, you're a party person.
Yes.
But I think that sort of opens up. I'll share my experience, and then I'll open it up to you guys again. But you were mentioning like the midnight on Christmas Eve would be the time for the Santa gifts, right? We did Christmas morning because we were a midnight mass family, so it didn't matter. Like, and mostly I remember it when I was really young. Like grade school kid, we did like the children's mass on Christmas Eve, and you would go and it would be like a singing mass and everything, relatively quick, and then you're back and you're back to the house having dinner and getting a little bit more. It was, I think for me, Christmas Eve was more of the religious day, and then Christmas Day was the open the gifts. But Christmas morning was when the gifts were out, and the way that my dad did it, he didn't if they were Santa gifts, they were all unwrapped. They were just there was 3 piles, one for my brother, one for me, one for my sister, under the tree. Like, there's a clean line between each one, and he would stack it. If there was a bike, he would have had it built, or or it would be in the box in the garage with a note that would say, "Look in the garage." If these are all Santa gifts, like the quote unquote, the kayfabe notion was, well, Santa didn't have time to wrap these gifts. Look at how many you guys got, or look how nice they are. Why would you want to have to like rip up paper? He was being smart. He's like, I don't want to throw all that junk paper away. So
brilliant.
It's just, here they are. Here's all the boxes. You would get to maybe everybody was like looking and sort of playing around with what you had, like on like a surface level, but it would usually be, there would be a little bit of restriction. You're not like breaking open the packages for everything that you got. It is, pick a few during the course of the day that, especially if they're electronic and you want to get batteries in them and test them out, like those would be the type of things, like the higher ticket stuff, or if it was like a Nintendo system, like, hey, let's make sure it works, or you know what you're doing with it, blah, blah, blah. And then just during the course of the day, like you're just at the house, you're milling around, everybody's like looking at each other's gifts a little bit and like, oh, we should play with that next, or with this next. Then there would be like a lull, right? Maybe like an hour lull where you're eating breakfast and they're drinking tea or coffee. And then it's like, well, here's your grandparents' gifts, like, and they're wrapped up, and here's your aunt's gifts, and so on and so forth. So there would be more like basically like staged out gift unveilings during the course of the morning and into the early afternoon. So it's a little bit more spaced out because you got done with church and you got done with the religious aspect of it on Christmas Eve, and then that midnight mass. Eventually, when I was an altar boy, I served midnight mass like every year for like 5 or 6 years in a row. So it was like, well, you're working. It's basically like you're going to work, on Christmas Eve. So like you're getting a rest after dinner and getting yourself ready to go to church. So, but as far as Cap, I know you're a Christmas Eve household, right?
Growing up, my grandparents, my aunts, and my uncle would come over on Christmas Eve. We would do dinner. Then we opened the presents from my grandparents or my aunts and my uncles. When I got older, weird thing is being the youngest, and that there's kind of like my brother's 8 years older than me. My sister's 5. There came a point where they didn't want to go to the children's mass anymore. They wanted to go to the midnight mass. So there were a couple of years there like that I went to children's mass by myself, which
with your parents, I hope, right?
No, I went by myself. You got to remember, I live 2 blocks away from the church.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
Like I could walk to church.
You were giving me orphan vibes there real fast.
This was 40 something years ago when like kids were allowed to just ride your bike like 3 miles away from the house and nobody cared.
Yeah.
So walking 2 blocks away from my house to go to church, my parents like were just like, yeah, okay. Make sure the one street you got to cross, make sure you look both ways before you cross.
Okay. All right.
But then eventually we were still kind of a Christmas Eve kind of family, and then midnight mass, come back from midnight mass, open our presents, and then sleep in Christmas morning because nobody was really coming over. And the only thing you really had to do on Christmas was play with the presents that you got. Or when we got older, like, my brother had like, friends or something that he would go to, or,
yeah,
we would all have something to do later on Christmas Day. But yeah, we are definitely, and now that I'm married,
congrats, by the way.
We've kind of kept. Thank you. Yeah. It was a great time. I wish you guys were there.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, we were.
Oh yeah. I think I had a speech.
See, I'm getting old. Yeah, we've become like my side of the family. We do on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we go to Maureen's side of the family.
Good.
So
all right. Well, that's
kind of, everything works out that way. So
that's listen. That's a nice sort of. Again, it's a splitting of your time and your energy, and it's not like, because I know a lot of people who are like they cram it all into one day, and it's like, well, all right, we can do 2 hours at your house, then we do 2 hours here, we do 2, and then it's like reading dinner at this one's house with the kids, and then we're going to grandparents for dessert. And it's like, I'm exhausted even hearing some of these like Christmas Day travel plans.
So Karen, was your family like always like the host house, or did you guys have to travel?
Well, so for part of it for Christmas Eve, we used to go up to my godfather's house, and my grandmother would, they were together, and they would host Christmas Eve, and then we would always do Christmas Day at our house. At some point that changed, and we did everything at our house. Yeah, and now we do it where we go to my sister's on Christmas Eve, which I think is ironic that my favorite part has always been opening the gifts at midnight, but my kids don't get to do that because we always go to their house in Hoboken on Christmas Eve, and by the time we drive all the way down, the kids are sleeping. No one really is like, and so we just have started doing it on Christmas morning with them.
Okay.
And so for the past handful of years, we've actually gone away. Like we've opened up Christmas presents and then like left on Christmas Day on either a mini or a long vacation. We started, going actually to a larger cousins gathering last year. We're going to do it this year. So we're going away actually this weekend to do a little away Christmas thing because it's really important to me that my sister's kids and my kids spend some quality time together. And it seems like we can really only do that if we go away because they're all so busy with sports and acting and dance and all of that stuff. And the only time they really get to spend time together is if we force them. So we do try to do a summer vacation with them and then a Christmas vacation with them. So they have those like cousin memories because those are some of my favorite memories is my cousin memories.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. That's very important. And that's actually a great way to make it a little bit special. Right? Like everybody gets to make the trip and normally like you just see your immediate family. Like for me, it's like, it's always been more just immediate family with a few people that would pop in and pop out on Christmas Day. And then, other holidays, our cousins were involved and we would go to Brooklyn or we would go somewhere else or Connecticut or whatever it is. So to be able to say like, oh, everybody in the family's making the trek together and like, this is our Christmas destination where we're going to be off campus, more or less, at a location. That's kind of that feels more like that's a true winter break for everybody, right? Like you're making the decision to like use that as your getaway. So it serves two purposes. You're also, you're a Christmas time baby.
Yes. My birthday is Monday, the 22nd.
Do you feel ripped off ever by Christmas being on top of your birthday and vice versa?
Growing up, my mom made really sure that wouldn't happen. She always like outdid herself. Okay. I do sometimes feel like it's the rush of the season. Like all year long, we make sure we go out for everyone's birthday and we celebrate all the stuff. And then it gets to my birthday and people are like, I'm so exhausted, I was actually just having this conversation with some girlfriends, and I was like, the thing I would love to do for my birthday is go to New York City and bar hop and go from Christmas bar to Christmas bar. But I also realized that I would be the only one there, and you all would be home. Yeah. So I don't know if I do. I still, this is part of the reason why my birthday is my favorite day of the year, because I make it my favorite day of the year, even if no one else cares.
Right. You shine the light on it. And I think it can be special. First of all, because it's before Christmas, right? You've got a lot of people like, I guess like this was more like in like college years and early 20s, mid 20s. You've got more people that are home, that are off from work or have vacation or whatever it is. Like, so you've got more people that are like, hey, what do you like? It's your birthday, like, and it's a couple days before Christmas. I have tonight off, and you have a little the irresponsible years. Let's call them those. Let's quote unquote the irresponsible years. There was always this like, here's your last chance to see a big group of people before Christmas hits. And it's going to be like dormant or dark for a couple days because everybody's off with their families and stuff. So like, that's where there's a bit of a benefit. But yeah, then the older you get, it's like, well, now I'm back in this situation where I know I have a lot of stuff to do for Christmas preparation and for, preparing food and finishing shopping and then whatever the kids are up to, blah, blah, blah. So I guess it like you have to, and kudos to you.
Yeah, there's seasons to it. The holiday birthdays I feel the worst for are the ones right after Christmas.
Right, yeah, right after Christmas.
My Ryan is January 8th, and I feel so bad for him. By the time January 8th comes, everyone, like, wants to be on a diet, doesn't want to think about getting together. Like, God forbid we should have a piece of cake, you know, like, it gets tough.
Funny, Ashley was complaining the other day about her birthday because she's the 9th, and how, like, oh, people always forget about it. It's after New Year's. Nobody has money. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and Maureen turned around and said, you know who you should really feel bad for? Aunt Dina, Aunt Karen, and Aunt Terry, because they're all like, I think you're the 22nd. I think Dina's the 23rd, and her sister's the 24th. And it's like, those people.
Well, come on.
Everyone forgets about that. Like, people can remember January 9th. Like, nobody's doing any.
There's a lot of birthday presents wrapped in Christmas paper, or this is your present, all together.
Yeah, yes. But my brother's the 9th as well, and it is usually like you buy, you have your gifts, and you're like, all right, I can get one more. I'm getting it now because I can get it shipped before his birthday, and I just make sure you don't wrap it in Christmas paper and leave it with the Christmas stuff, because it's like, oh, I gave him an extra gift. All right, I'm jumpstarting your birthday. That's just what you have. So
I never really, like, my birthday's the day after 4th of July. Do the math, you can figure it out. And, like, growing up, like, I never really, like, when I there's a point where I started looking back, like, I never got to have a birthday party in school and invite all my friends at school, like, which I was, and then my holiday, like, anytime I would try to do a party, I would always get, well, I'm going away that week. I'm going, like, everybody went on vacation for 4th of July, so nobody was ever really around. And I was fine with that growing up. It wasn't until my kids started going to school, and I forget if it was Ashley or Jake, where they have a day dedicated towards the end of the school year now for all the kids who have summer birthdays.
Yep.
And that was the first time I was ever like, man, they should have done that, like, when I was in school.
You got ripped off.
Like, that's when I felt ripped off. But for the most part of it,
but you got the freedom to walk to church. So which would you?
Yeah, seriously,
have?
Right, right. You could go to midnight mass or early mass.
There ain't nothing
by a foot.
Like, there's nothing more, bad, whatever, than walking into church solo. Just swinging that door open and just being like, all right, I'm here. Let's start this mass.
Where do I
sit? Never alone when you go to church. Jesus is always with you.
Where do I sit? And then you stand in the corner because it's too crowded. So
what about when church was always filled with the people who only went twice a year?
Yeah.
And then the people that went every week had to stand in the back.
I know.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was the benefit. The benefit of being an altar boy was
you always had a seat.
It was twofold. I always had something to do, and a seat. But anybody who brought me, because I had to be there so early, there's no chance that they're not getting a seat. Like, they got to show up like a half hour early because I got all the pregame to do. And all of that. So yeah, like, nobody really had an issue with sitting or standing from my family.
I only got to be an altar boy for 2 years. Our school, for some reason, you couldn't become an altar boy till 7th grade, and then for some reason when you went to and then when you went to high school, it wasn't cool to do it anymore.
So like Menudo.
Maybe they had so many. Beating people away with a stick.
Could be.
I just remember, be loud with the bells, heavy on the wine, light on the water.
Yeah, that's
everything else. Everything else was pretty much cake.
It was all improv from there. So let's talk about decorations and decorating houses, outside of houses, all of that stuff. Karen, we'll start with you because I'm sure this is something that you probably have a hand in. Because, listen, I think there's a creativity to it. There's tradition for sure. That's part of it. And then there's also like, this is something I want to do this year. So where do you land? What's your thought process?
This is actually the first year that I didn't put anything outside. I feel like Christmas this year has like snuck up on us in a crazy way, partly because Ryan was in a play for 2 weekends in December. So it's like, I just
Plus it
lost.
got really cold.
It got really cold. I lost all my time, and I do it all myself. I do all the outside decorations myself. I do all the inside decorations myself. So there's only so much time, and you can't do it. So a couple years ago, I moved to doing lights on the trees and stuff, to doing candy canes, like the pathway candy canes, which I really like. We always put love wreath out. That's already there. But we just tried to find some other ways to do it. So, because the worst part I find about Christmas decorations is finding the day in January where it's not like 2 degrees and icy to take them in. So yeah.
That's an excellent point of view when it comes to that. Yeah, the dismantling of everything is probably, because it's exciting to put it all up. Like there's no doubt about it that you're like, look at, and that's why I asked if there was some sort of a creativity that you get sparked into doing it. It's like, well, I'm going to do it this way this year, but
we love looking at houses. We kind of do all that. Although right now I feel like this trend of having those like permanent lights is taking all the fun out of Christmas decorations.
That's a good point. Captain, you mentioned something about that, right? Like your thoughts on people that have the bright displays.
So I have a couple of thoughts. One, Karen, can you convince Maureen to start doing the outside decorations and tell her how much fun it is? But I don't have to do the outside decorations anymore. No, there's two. One, all right. So the ones that I really like for like when you go like a destination, like there's a guy here in Hazlitt, he calls it Johnny's Christmas Extravaganza. It's a nice mixture of like handmade stuff. Like he has a sled, like a big Santa sled or whatever, and then like that's made out of wood, and then like the wooden painted like reindeer and stuff like that. And he has a mixture of like inflatables in between, you know what I mean? It's not all just inflatables, and it's not all whatever. And then he has like this really cool like tunnel that has the Christmas lights that are flashing, so it's kind of like trippy kind of Christmas thing. That's how you walk into his yard, and it's all in his yard or whatever. And it's really nice, and we try to go over every year, you know, weather depending. Especially when the kids were younger, it was a big deal because Santa would make appearances on Friday and Saturday leading up to it. So we would always go. But unfortunately, sometimes the Grinch would also show up, and that used to scare some of the kids. But no, these ones were like they're paying people professionally to do or they're people who actually live there. Like they do lighting and stuff for like rock concerts, and now like they have all these stuff that's synchronized to music. And it goes on like every half hour on the hour, and it causes all the traffic jams. Like I can understand. I never want to be like bah humbug and whatever, but I can understand why people in the neighborhood sometimes get annoyed. I think as long as you do it, like if you're respectful and they're kind of like, okay, we're going to do it on Saturdays and Sundays or Fridays and Saturdays. And then maybe like that Sunday before Christmas, like if you have it up all the time and you always have like, I can understand why neighbors get a little mad, but again, I don't want anybody going to like the town board and having it removed. I think just people that do those things should be respectful that like, hey, other people have to live here too. And I do such a good job that I draw all these crowds from people. You know, the guy that does the one in Hazlitt that I was talking about, he has to send out stuff through social media to tell people like, be respectful of my neighbors. Don't leave garbage on their lawn. Like don't run on, you know, and trample over their decorations to get to my Christmas. It's a shame that he has to do that, but I guess when you're drawing crowds, I guess, you know, you get the best and the worst out of people sometimes.
And what's interesting about that, I know the one you're talking about, and my one complaint is that guy should move to a more conducive neighborhood to have that, because he's on one of the most narrow streets in town. Like, and but it's hard to park. Like basically you're parking in front of everybody's house for, you know, the half hour that you're going to be over at his Winter Wonderland lighting extravaganza. And it's great that like he, you know, he gets a lot of foot traffic. He I know he donates money and he does collections and raffles and stuff like that. So like all of the extra, like knowing that he can draw a crowd, like he's doing a lot of extra things to enhance the holiday, and that's great. But that's also like, dude, like there are some, wonderful neighborhoods that have ample parking or like adjacent to like a shopping center that you would be able to say like, hey, go park over there and then walk around the corner.
The nice thing is the people that are across the street on the other side of Palmer have like more embraced it rather than gone against it.
Okay.
And they're doing like these, like the tunnels that like the same kind of light tunnels that he has leading into it. They now have those out in front of their houses. So it's kind of like you're walking through all that stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay.
As you're getting the Palmer Ave and crossing over where they have the where the cop is. Yeah, like instead of everybody just complaining about it, everybody's just like, all right, well, we'll get involved too. And, plus I think the more that people get involved and decorate and stuff, the less that people like, you're going to be a little bit more respectful. Like, but
you understand that this is their tradition. We're not getting rid of this tradition. So help embrace it and have a great time. Like, during the holidays for sure.
Plus I'm more appreciative of people that I don't know, like if you pay someone to put up lights on your house and do it professionally, I like those big, like huge ones where they have like the pipe in music and like, or turn to channel such and such on your, you can hear the music that syncs go along with it. Like I'll totally appreciate somebody who like, oh, I start at end of August, like organizing all this stuff and doing my house and blah, blah, blah. And like, I'll totally appreciate that more than somebody who pays a crew to come in and set up their mansion. But
there's a few people on the street that my sister lives on that have like those, it's a multimedia like setup. One guy kind of scaled it back. He's more of the Halloween guy now, but there's another guy across the street. His Christmas stuff is set up on like November 1st because like that's the only time they could book the people to like set up his Christmas lights. And it's
I just want to know where these people store all this stuff.
Well, they don't. The company brings it in and then the company takes it away. So it's basically like, hey, I'm paying a service to like come and set all these lights up. You take them away and then see you next year.
Either that or that's why they keep on knocking stuff and building more storage units.
It's all Christmas lights and Halloween decorations.
Every time I see something getting cleared out, and they're like doing I'm like, okay, is that going to be a vape shop? Is that going to be a storage unit, or is another Wawa coming in?
Yeah, can we get a convenience store?
Which one is it?
Convenience store / gas station. That's we need more of those. So I mean the decoration stuff, like as far as our tradition go, it's very scaled back. Like it used to be like at one point like it was me and my dad and my sister and my brother wouldn't do it because he really wasn't that helpful like on a ladder, but it used to be like you do a lot of lights outside the house and you have spotlights and you have wreaths and all of that stuff, and it kind of got scaled back because it's just you're not hosting, so there's less and less like if you were going to host people, like you want to decorate the outside of the house, great, but inside the house there are, and I counted them because they're already up. There's 3 miniature nativity scenes, basically one for every room. Baby Jesus, a no-show until Christmas Eve, or Christmas morning day. He can show up, and then there's one like a shadowy one on the lawn, like one of those that you pour the spotlight behind and it casts the shadow, stuff like that. How many nativity scenes, Karen, do you have? Or
2.
Would you have 2? Okay.
We have 2 right now. Yes.
Okay. Would you like more?
I'm running out of surface. I have a decorator Nazi in my house who loves to decorate every surface.
Okay.
He has a very strict rule about when we start Halloween decorations. That has to be in August. The day after Halloween, we take it all down and we do Thanksgiving. basically at Thanksgiving dinner, he runs upstairs and puts a Santa costume on and
Great.
transitions into Christmas, and we have to have those decorations out. So I have I have no space.
I would never imagine that Jeff would be that
seriously. Yeah.
And I want a picture of Jeff in a Santa outfit.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. I might suggest, and feel free to shoot this down, but if you want a third nativity, I'm thinking the chandelier.
Okay.
The chandelier type, they used to have them in bars where they would have the Clydesdale horses. It would look like a snow globe. So imagine that chandelier, and it's got the nativity with all of the, all of the animals and the wise guys and everything. And then Jesus is like every day, like almost like pump action. So you lower him every day and you don't see him until he drops into the manger on Christmas Day. Basically, it's very dramatic, and it would probably it would have to be balanced correctly. But I do like this idea of like a suspended nativity scene that can be, and I think, I think yours is the perfect house to test this out at.
Yeah, we can try it. Absolutely,
Captain. So, what's your manger over under nativity scene?
0.5 maybe.
Half. Okay. All right.
Sometimes we remember to put it up. Sometimes we forget to put it up.
Mary and Joe involved though? Like, are they?
We have the we have the same thing that I think every household. I think I'm gonna say at least in Jersey, everybody's mother or grandmother took a ceramics class.
Oh, yeah.
And made the ceramic Christmas tree.
Yeah.
That you can plug into, and then on the bottom, like the base thing that holds the tree. That's where you would put the nativity. There was like a little nativity scene that goes in the little thing underneath it.
Right.
We have one. We inherited.
Okay.
And then sometimes we remember the little pieces to go underneath it. Sometimes we forget, or we put Mary and Joseph and the animals, but then forget to put baby Jesus out.
Oh, wow.
And then when we're cleaning up, we go, oh, nobody put baby Jesus out this year. Two things I real quick I wanted to talk before we get off about outside decorations or outside things or whatever.
Right.
Did I imagine Mike did, but either of you ever were you like a tradition to go to the outdoor manger at St. Joe's?
Oh yeah.
Keyport?
No.
Yes.
That was always like when you're driving around going to look at like people's lights or whatever, or like, oh, I know this neighborhood always does it up, or this, it was always a tradition to stop at the outdoor manger. I actually remember this is how old I am, when they actually had real people stand and do the they replaced it with like, they had like dummies, like, of like the wise men and like people from the parish would actually go out and they would dress up as the wise men, Joseph and Mary, and somebody would bring like maybe it wasn't a real baby. Sometimes it was a real baby. Sometimes it wasn't, but they actually just were real people, and they stood out there as statues doing a live manger.
Let me wrap my head.
There's a church on Route 9 in Sayreville that does not only a live manger, but like a living reason for the season. So like you do the whole, like there's maybe 4 or 5 or 6 different scenes, and you drive around the parking lot and you see like them acting out like Mary and Joseph coming to the manger, and then the 3 wise men showing up and all that stuff. It's really very cool. But I can remember like when we were younger begging to go, and like you would sit in a line for like 2.5 hours, like brutal. On the shoulder of Route 9, like waiting to get in.
So
I don't know if it was if that's the one Ashley sang at one, like when she did that choir group or whatever. And I think it was a church on Route 9 where they did they actually had a real camel one year.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. I'm sure it's the same one.
Yeah. I think that's, we've been to that. it's one. Of course, the year that she did and sang there, it had to be, I think, the coldest day in history.
Let me wrap.
The other one I want to bring up real quick.
I just wanted to wrap my head around this living nativity thing though, and just I don't want to put a button in this. The one you're thinking of that's around here is St. John's Baptist Church in Keyport.
I thought it was St. Joe's Baptist.
No,
Methodist.
Yeah, well, that's St. John's. St. Joe's is the Catholic. It's the Catholic one in Keyport.
Oh.
Christmas Day, our family goes by the manger setup, and yes, they're all dummies and the actors. Maybe they had like a live version at one point. I don't know if I remember that.
Did.
But they also used to have like 20 times the amount of animals in that, and now it's basically like the ones that can bear being out in freezing cold. So you will have a donkey, you will have some sort of like maybe a mini horse, and then like some chickens, and then that's it. And they're less exciting, and it's really like, I don't know if either they don't get the donations to like ramp it up, or they're like, they don't want to get people mad at them for leaving animals out for a month. So
they had people that would show up and try to free the animals.
Yeah.
So then it became like a big
that takes the fun
an
out
insurance nightmare.
Yeah.
There was a guy, a family in Wanamassa. And this was years before it was like a cool thing to do, like your whole house, like, and have people like that drew crowds or whatever.
Yeah.
He made an ice skating rink, like an elevated ice skating rink on his front lawn.
Oh. Okay.
And he had mechanical, so it looked like these things were figure skating or skating on ice. And every year he changed. So like the first year that we went, it was characters from the Muppets.
Okay.
And they were all out there. Then like the next year was Sesame Street characters. And then he did the Smurfs, because the Smurfs were like a big thing or whatever. But then he had stuff around the house, like he had Snoopy with the Baron on the top of his house.
Okay.
He had a Chipmunks display and they played the record or whatever, so it looked like the Chipmunks would sing to the record. And something, he had like another thing or whatever. And then I don't know what happened. Like I don't know if he got up and moved and did it somewhere else, but it was the coolest thing to sit, like to drive around the corner and then all of a sudden see all these lights and see like an 8-foot Cookie Monster on ice, like I got on ice skates, or like you turned the corner and it was like, oh, like all the Smurfs kind of looked like, except you had Papa Smurf who always wore red, and obviously Smurfette who had that, but it was just like, it was that thing of like turning the corner and seeing that guy's house and being like, oh my God, he's got Bert and Ernie on ice skates. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. The problem with that, I think I know what happened to that guy. He saw his electric bill the next month, and he was like, no more.
Well, believe me, when you walked through all of it, as you left, there was the big box, please donate for my electric bill.
Yeah, exactly.
So people did throw a couple bucks, to help them out. So, but yeah, it was like that was like the first thing that I can remember, like, going from up here down to Wanamassa is kind of a drive.
Of
and
course,
it was just like, we're going to drive all this far, like to go see Christmas lights. And then when, like I said, man, you turned and you saw what it was, you were like, totally worth the half hour or 35 minutes in the car to come see this.
True. That's good to, listen, the people that throw that money, energy, and spirit into it are to be commended. It's just, you think about the logistics of it and then the bill at the end of it, and you're like, whew, great on paper. Don't see myself being that guy. What about Christmas and work through the years? Captain and I have been, and we have discussed on the show a time or two about being retail warriors through a couple of Christmases. I, for one, remember, and I was talking about this the other day, about 16-hour days during the Christmas holiday, and it being like, there's no end in sight. You got to work overnights. There's so much like stocking and restocking you have to do, and and making that dollars because it's your busiest time of year, and you feel like you're drowning almost. But then you get to Christmas Eve, and that's the most fun day of work that you could ever get to. And there's two reasons. First of all, at that point, you don't care what happened all year long or all season long. I got to the last day. The day after Christmas is going to be hell. So let's just take this day to like have a good time. Nobody has to really do cleaning. Store closed early, right?
And then you had a day off.
Yes.
Which at that point, you probably hadn't had a day off in like at least 8 or 9 days, maybe even more.
Oh yeah. Month of December, there was no days off one year.
And nobody's gonna, like, if you're coming in on Christmas Eve, even though people, as the day progressively got, closer to like, people came in panicking, and it was kind of like you always had that thing of like, hey, Kat, you waited till Christmas Eve. Like, I'm sorry.
You get what you get. Yeah.
Like, I have 100,000 CDs here.
Yeah.
Pick one and give it to your mom. Like,
if it doesn't work out, I'll see you the day after Christmas. We'll get it exchanged. Hey, you know what? Would you like me to explain to you what a gift coin is? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so. And that was
like a gift. It's like a gift card, but it's a coin.
Yeah, that day, like at the mall with all the panicky Pete's that would come in, and they're like, well, "What do I do? And what do I do?" And it's like, just walk around here. It's easy. Just get something. It's not hard. We have gift wrap stuff, and it would be the type of day where I can be out from behind. Like, even the manager's position is a little bit more like customer friendly that day, because it's like, hey, I'll take you around. I'll give you, what's your budget? I'll give you 3 things that you can buy for that money and send you on your way. And they're super appreciative. Everybody was like, there would be some crabby people in the morning, but as you said, like as the day got closer to the end, more people were understanding that they're in a foxhole with you as the person that works at that store, and they don't want to like draw your ire and ruin your day. They just want to get what they need and get going.
I always love to give me your list.
Yeah,
I'll see you stay here. I'll see what I could do. I'll try to get as much of this as possible. So what? Did you ever work holiday lights, or were you just
very little? I can remember maybe once or twice working holiday lights outside, like in the ticket booth kind of thing. But I didn't really have to do all that much. I did all the stuff on the front end, in marketing. So I didn't really have to be there for the operational stuff. I do remember once or twice going, but I don't even remember if I was working or if I was just like hanging out.
Right.
Like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
And I feel like I maybe wasn't there. Maybe it wasn't there the entire time I worked there. I don't remember. It's too long ago. 25 years is too long ago for me to remember,
It sure is. But these days, like, what's your, other office Christmas parties that you're involved in as far as like coordinating, setting up, or we just
do an office Christmas party every year. I don't ever have to coordinate anything. No one wants me to do that. This year we took a party bus from our offices in Hopewell, and we drove all the way to Red Bank. And we did a food tour. So we went to 3 different restaurants, and then like party busted back, which was really fun. We do, fun stuff like that. I also am very blessed in what I do and working in the advertising world. So I get invited to a lot of other companies' Christmas parties.
That's nice too.
This year I got to go to the Rockefeller tree lighting, be right down on the ice skating ring, for all of that, to see the show, be right under the tree. That was really, really cool. So I get, some fun stuff. Every year I get to go to, jingle balls and things like that, which,
Absolutely.
To me is always like the kickoff to the holiday season. Like it's not Christmas unless I'm like watching a pop star in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, we do a lot of Christmas parties, and through the years, I've always tried to be the person who hosts the stuff. Like when my, kids have travel teams or whatever, if they're playing around the holidays, I always kind of like to be the house where like the entire basketball team comes over and we throw a party and do whatever, which it's fun.
Get
I think
pizzas,
the
Secret
holidays
Santas.
it's a great time of year to like hang out and do that kind of stuff. Working in the advertising world, so many offices close down between Christmas and New Year's. Mine does not. We do stay open.
Mm-hmm.
I do try to keep all my vacation days though for that week because that's my favorite week of the year.
Of course.
Because it's not busy and because you can take a vacation and you don't have to worry about you're going back to work and you have like piles of work to do.
Nobody else is active.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Nobody else is active. I always say in the advertising world, if you didn't get it done by December 15th, it's not getting done.
We'll see.
Talk to me like the 3rd day of January.
We'll see you next year. But that's funny that you mentioned the party bus and everything. My company, they did the party bus this year. I didn't go to because if you work remote, it's like, what are we really doing here? Like I'm gonna come into work to go to a Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's a bit silly, but in years past, like I think that they're like, and I don't, maybe you can speak to this, but I think from my experience, it used to be, hey, the break room's going to get decorated and everybody just stays an extra like couple hours, or you do it in the middle of the day on, some day during the week. Oh. And it's like, well, that's your office Christmas party, right? Now it just seems like everybody wants to, maybe because there is that advent in the last 10 years, that advent for more people to say like, well, I work remote, so why would I want to go into the office and then just hang out in the break room? Now it's off campus stuff. So like you're going to our company, there's like a Cuban restaurant in the town that our office is in. So they made arrangements. They got the party bus. They booked the Cuban restaurant. They took all these pictures. And it's like, it really looks great because here's the company putting a little bit of money into your end of the year party. And those who could partake were, excited to do that, look like they had a ball. And, it's like, I like that element of it where you kind of want to do your companies want to do a little bit more at the end of the year for you rather than just say, hey, we're going to bring in pizzas or subs and we're just going to, put a tree.
I think that kind of depends too. Did your company have a lean year or a good year?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
How much money do you want to store? How much more you want to spend? We actually required everyone who was coming to the party to be on the party bus because the party bus is where you get most of the team bonding, and that's really what the party should be about. Like,
exactly.
Thank you for your year, but it should really be about team bonding and talking to people who you might not interface with all year long, or trying to get to know people on a more personal level. That's not like the 30 seconds before a meeting, how was your day kind of thing. How was your weekend?
Hey, you heading to that room? Yeah, that's where we're meeting. And that's what's funny. You mentioned that too. One of the things that was in the email strictly said no +1s. It's only for office people. Like, so there's no husbands, no wives, no partners, no, kids, no nothing. This is our company thing. And I think in years past, like if you had an inner office party, it would be, we're buying so much food, bring as many people as you want and just crowd the house. Now it's basically like, hey, we're going to this nice place. Please, let's just keep it, it in the company and do it that way. So
we also do a tree decorating contest at work where we break up into teams and everyone decorates a tree. And like, obviously at an advertising agency where like there's so many creative folks, they really get like, this year they had to put a money limit on it because last year it got so out of hand and so extravagant. They were like, you can't spend more than $50 on your tree or else, And unfortunately, my team every year seems to be like the accounting and the media folks, and we cannot compete with like the folks who do like creative stuff for a living.
Yeah. You should just swap out the tree for a Charlie Brown tree and say, look, throwback.
Look.
You got a glue stick and some scissors. Meanwhile, they're making stuff on a 3D printer.
Excel spreadsheet. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. That's interesting. You do get to decorate. Even if you're not over decorating the outside of your house in a traditional way anymore, you're decorating inside your office. So, Captain, anything to throw in there as far as modern day Christmas parties that you've been at?
When I worked at the bank, they used to do it really nice. They would have it. They had a couple of different years, but one of them I remember was at Merrymakers in Shrewsbury.
Okay.
but it was always like kind of like a place where people had like almost like wedding receptions or whatever,
retirement
like those
parties.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
The one at Merrymakers was really nice. We were allowed to bring our spouse. They had a full band. It was really good.
Wow. Okay.
The company I'm at now, well, I just switched. I'm not at the one. I got a new position now. Our Christmas party was yesterday.
Okay.
Everybody was smart enough to kind of duck out a little early, and me being new, I was a little like, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to stay here till when I'm kind of supposed to be here. And of course, I got an email like at 5 minutes before I was supposed to leave, and the next thing I knew, like 45 minutes later, I was still doing stuff in the email. Then I realized, well, by the time I leave here and meet everybody over at where the Christmas party is, everyone's going to be leaving because everybody was like, oh, I'm going to stay for a drink or two and leave. So it was just kind of like I missed. I'm like, you know what? I've been there less than a month. Like next year, I'll know better and I'll know what to do. And I'll capitalize on it.
You'll be the life of the party next year. You should tell them you just wait until next year.
Dude, I wore a Christmas sweater to work for like no reason.
That's I mean, again, there's certainly something about it, and I think they, having to work through the holidays, like depending on your company, like Karen, as you said, like there are some places where it's just like we're basically shut down for the 2 weeks around Christmas and New Year's, and don't call us, we won't call you, sort of thing. And then, but if you do have to work through the holidays, like at least these companies are kind of putting a little bit more extra emphasis on making you feel like you're welcome there. I mean, I think we hit a lot of the traditions and a lot of the tent poles on the traditions. What about post holiday? Where does everybody land on cleaning up and are you in a rush to do it as soon as as soon as the 26th rolls around? Do you wait until Little Christmas?
Wait till the Epiphany. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait till Little Christmas and then take your stuff down. Although I will say there have been a couple of years where there was going to be storms, and I took the outside decorations down before the 6th, but the tree and stuff always stays up. Right.
That's the bummer though. Like, and
the last thing I want to be doing is getting like a foot of snow, and then all my inflatables and crap is like on their foot, like, and then they fall out in March, and it's just kind of like, well, I might as well just throw all this out because it don't work no more.
That was a waste.
And it's been under snow for 2 months.
Yeah, but you're a arty household. You're an artificial tree household, correct?
Me, yes.
Yeah.
Ours now even is pre-lit.
It's the best.
Yeah.
And you hit like, if I want white lights, I can hit a button. If I want color, if I want them to blink and all that other stuff. That's actually one of the newest traditions in the past couple of years.
Picking out the lights?
It's 1 year. So we inherited between her mom and my parents and stuff. We inherited a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments. And so we do 1 year where we kind of do traditional ornaments, like the stuff from that, like some of the stuff from when I was a kid and Maureen was a kid, and and then the next year we do like, we put all the Star Wars and all the character type of stuff. Like, so it's like a serious tree 1 year and then a fun tree.
And then a goof tree. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the goof
just
tree.
Put up 2 trees.
I'm thinking 2 trees might be.
You hush now, Karen. You hush. I don't
inside tree, outside tree.
Yeah, but I don't want like any of the traditional. I don't want my Star Wars stuff getting ruined.
All right.
And I don't want an old uniform. So
fair play.
Yeah, I don't really have a big enough house for
you're not a 2-tree house. I see. We always had the living tree, the real tree. So that's why, like, the cleanup. When I was saying cleanup, I'm specifically talking about there's a living tree dying in your in your living room from it starts to die probably about the if you set it up on the 21st, and even if that's late, like that thing is starting to dry out, and all the I just remember like every year like just like barreling that thing in, trying to like set up the Christmas stand, which eventually we got smart and said we're doing all this outside. But getting the stand to like fit correctly, then pouring water into it so that it doesn't like just like wither away immediately. Pine needles and like vacuuming pine needles and sweeping up pine needles like for weeks after the Christmas tree's gone. You rearrange the furniture and you find different things like, oh, this is where that gift like slid under the couch when it was on this side of the room. That always ends up being like a bit of a, like you want to do it as fast as possible, but there's no way to do it fast. So it's just like, all right, this is going to consume a whole weekend, is just getting this tree out the door, rearranging all of this furniture, cleaning everything out, cleaning everything up, then putting everything back up in the attic or, in the garage or wherever it is. So it's just as fun, and I think we touched on this earlier, as fun as it is to like envision all of these decorations coming out and what are we going to do this year, it's so much of a slog like getting everything back stored and cleaned once the holiday's over, and you're just like, I don't want to say the word holiday until 4th of July now. So
Yep.
I mean, I think that's
All right.
you know what? Listen, I think one thing that we left off, Karen, another thing you mentioned earlier, 7 fishes.
7 fishes, yeah.
So, break down your involvement with the Feast of the 7 Fishes, and the best, like give me the highlight, give me the greatest hits and the biggest.
So I don't think we do it
bugaboos.
traditionally anymore. Like we certainly don't eat like the smelt or whatever. We do 7 fishes all the time. My mom always makes the bacala salad. But then we've kind of like turned it into like a new age thing. Like we do shrimp and calamari and lobster tails and mussels and crab cakes and green clam sauce or stuff like that. But we always make sure we have 7 fishes. It's some combination of them. It's certainly not like the traditional. I don't even know what the traditional first 7 fishes were. But yeah, that's how we do it.
So yours is more like the 7 seafood?
The 7 seafoods, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we do salmon, sometimes we do flounder.
Right.
Like it just kind of depends on who's coming and what they may eat as well.
Okay. You're not forcing bronzino on anybody or
no.
Right.
No.
Right.
But Grandma just did tell me today that she went and bought the lobster tails this afternoon,
Okay. I mean,
she's prepping.
That is something to look forward to. It's like, oh, we're gonna get lobster on Christmas. It's
Jack's favorite thing.
Okay.
He's always like, yes, Grandma, buy lots of them. I need 3.
I didn't think that like at a certain point you're like, well, it's only 4 fishes, and then we have like Swedish fish, and then we have like goldfish crackers. We played we play an album by the band Fish before. Like this is the way that we're sort of reinventing the holiday.
We do a Barney Miller
Abe Vigoda comes over.
Fish.
Yeah. I mean again with holiday meals, like it's always like turkey, right? It's like a rerun of Thanksgiving, where you're doing a turkey and you're doing all those same sides come out of the woodwork. I think the only thing with Christmas is some of the pies are a little bit different. Obviously you have cookies. There's always Baileys that's served before dinner. So you get involved with get into the Baileys and Cheers and all that other stuff. So that's those are strictly like that lines up as Christmas stuff. But yeah, the desserts end up being like a menagerie of like, different types of pies, different types of Christmas cookies. My sister-in-law and her mother, have tins of cookies that they bring over, and it's almost like everybody gets their own tin of cookies, which is catered to what your taste is. And it's like, man, I'm going to be eating cookies until
we've had to like
February
tell my
1st.
Mom she has to stop making she would make 6, 7, 8 different cookies and dozens of them. I'm like, we just can't consume all these things
That's right,
anymore.
yeah.
It's like she's narrowed it down to like our 3 favorites, and then if she doesn't like how they come out, maybe she'll make another round. But like,
Yeah.
She was making those all yesterday. She's like, I've made the chocolate chip and I've made the anisette and I'm going to do the krisheki. And I'm like, I think that needs to be it, because we get so much other stuff from every other
Right.
person in the world. Like, I have a real issue with food wasting. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
just makes me so sad that we make all these things for the tradition of it, but then like no one eats it and you throw all of it away in 2 weeks.
Because you're feeling it in the moment,
full.
and you're full, and it's like by the time that like you get to the week after Christmas, it's like, why would I eat a cookie that's shaped like a Christmas tree now? Like, give me these.
That was
actually
maybe baked like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
because we had to make all these cookies leading up to it.
See, that's my point. And let's start to convince the people. Let's use this podcast as a way to shift the Christmas cookie makers into, you can release and send me those cookies on December 1st. And then I've got the 4 weeks leading into Christmas to eat Christmas cookies.
Yes.
The day after, it's like Boxing Day. Yep. I'm going to box those cookies up and we're done with them, or they're going to get thrown away. Like, that's the last day to eat them is Christmas, the day after Christmas. I'll give you that as a cushion. But yeah, I think we should like shift, instead of like getting the cookies on or around Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Give me them cookies on December 1st, and I'm a happy boy.
What you do as you leave the Thanksgiving table. You should just go start making cookies.
That's an excellent new tradition. This is where the grassroots.
This is where it begins.
Yeah, this is Cap. This is why we're calling Karen the Rosa Parks of the Captain and Madden show.
I thought it was Sally Ride.
Sally Ride. Listen.
She's a Sandra Day O'Connor.
That's another good one. That's another good one. Is there anything that we missed on our journey through Christmas?
My grandmother used to make a really nice. It was some sort of Scottish traditional fudge that she would bring on Christmas.
I like that. And
this stuff was like, she might have put cocaine in it. I don't know. It was addicting. It got to the point where I think that's I correlate. The fudge is probably the reason why I'm diabetic now as an adult.
Wow.
And it got so bad that like when she would bring over the tin with all the thing of fudge in it, that it got to the point where whoever ate the last piece, it would actually cause like a family argument. Like everyone would start like, well, how many pieces did you have? How many? I didn't even get to have a piece. And so my grandmother, when my grandmother taught my aunt how to make it, my aunt actually would come in with a tin for the festivities and then hand everybody a bag. And it was like their own, like, here, go put this in the, like, so then you'd be not only would you eat the fudge on Christmas, you'd be eating that bag of fudge for like the next week and a half.
So the cookies the kids like the best are those anisette ones. Like, they're like knots and they've got like sprinkles on top. And they used to fight over them every year. So my mom just started making them with different color sprinkles for every single holiday. So she'll just put like, make the cookies and put red ones on for Valentine's Day or green ones on for St. And so they've eaten them so much now that no one fights over them anymore. Like, she desensitized them to having the cookies.
I would stab somebody for a piece of my grandmother's fudge right now. I tell you. All right, if we're gonna get wrapped up on this, I got a quick. We're gonna do like a, what do you call it? Like a rocket. Like we are. I ask you a question.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Got it.
Fire away.
You're. It's not one word. You could, but don't.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Okay. I'll start with Karen since she's our guest. Favorite Christmas character?
Frosty the Snowman, because he has Karen as his sidekick.
Nice.
Real Homer answer.
Mike.
Kirby the Dentist from the Rudolph cartoon, claymation cartoon.
I actually like the magician in Frosty the Snowman.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Mike. Your best or favorite Christmas present you got as a kid?
Oof, my favorite Christmas present as a kid. Man, I got a baseball mitt I think it was maybe my first baseball mitt I got when I was like 5 or 6. Man, that thing was awesome. I think it had like, like when you have a kid mitt and it has like the wonky signature.
Right.
The signature, you're gonna love this. It was Richie Zisk.
Wow.
who played for the Texas Rangers. Wasn't even like a Met or anything. It was like, and I was like, man, this was autographed by Richie Zisk.
Awesome.
Super.
My first mitt was had Dave Winfield's autograph.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Thank you for being a Yankee.
Snake, what was your favorite
My
Christmas
Care Bears.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Did they all stare at you?
Yeah.
Like when you opened them? Nice. Mine was the Christmas after Return of the Jedi came out. So I was probably 6 or 7. Mike, you were talking before about how like your dad would put like there would be a row, like it was very divided, like whose presents were like I had like a whole row against the wall and everything on that was like Santa wrapped like every individual person.
Oh.
Like when I got a Luke Skywalker figure, like it was just I felt like it was like an hour of just opening up Star Wars stuff.
Wow. Oh, that's yeah.
So that year was just like when it was all done, like you name it from like the figures of Return of the Jedi, I had it that year.
Yes.
And that was probably, although I'm still waiting for Santa to bring me my G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. I've been waiting for 40 years.
Oh, keep waiting.
Yeah. It's on It's still on back order.
I'm going to go with favorite Christmas movie. Mike.
Gremlins.
Karen.
Home Alone.
Mine is Die Hard.
That's one of our traditions. We watch Home Alone every single Christmas Eve.
It's a good one. It's a good one to watch.
Yeah. But I would agree, Captain. I also very much like the Die Hard.
Yes.
Although the tradition kind of was watching Christmas. My mom, my dad, and everybody, even though it was on every year, they still got a kick out of the Christmas Story. And finally, this is going to be the tough one. Favorite Christmas song?
I gotta think. You go first.
In sync. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
That's there is no more Karen answer than
mine. My favorite Christmas song would be "Merry Christmas, Please Come Home," and I would probably have to pick "Darlene Love" doing it. Although U2's version is pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Darlene Love. Merry Christmas, Please Come Home.
Christmas all over again. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Nice.
I think Chuck Berry's songbook.
Chuck Berry's songbook. New Rickenbacker guitar. Yeah, that's the best. In my opinion, there's so much going on in that song. It's so awesome. But I really do like Christmas music, and I think there was a time, probably when we were all like in our 20s, like you didn't think that you were going to get any new Christmas music, right? The Mariah Carey Christmas song was like that Christmas album was like the last big thing. And Karen, all apologies to NSYNC. There wasn't still like those traditional like Christmas tunes that were like really prevalent. And I think in the last like 10 years, it like bands, especially bands that I like and artists that I respect, went back to like putting out Christmas songs and albums, and it's like awesome, some awesome stuff floating out there. So
here's my hot take.
Go ahead.
Kelly Clarkson Christmas album,
yeah,
and Christmas Underneath the Tree, way better than Mariah Carey Christmas album.
Well, you may be right. That's
that Christmas Underneath the Tree song.
That's a new classic.
I'm still to the point where I don't get. Like if it comes on, I'm not like, oh my god, like
nah.
I'm tapping along to it.
Yeah.
It's a banger, as the kids would say.
All right. So not to steal a term that would be associated with Christmas, but I think that wraps it up for us. We certainly do appreciate our good friend Karen Paton being part of the team this week. Excellent contributions. certainly we will definitely have you on for future episodes.
I hope you invite me back on some of my other topics where I'm truly an expert.
Non-holiday related, potential soap opera topics are
we have to
out
have
there.
the Jackie Robinson of this podcast come back.
That's right. So yes, thank you, Karen, for helping us out and participating. A very early, but not way too early, happy birthday to you.
Birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, happy birthday, Snake.
And one of these days we'll actually, maybe that'll be a podcast for a future time, as we'll get into why people have certain nicknames.
Nicknames? Yeah.
Only a certain few will realize what.
Well, you have to change my name and my likeness.
That's right. Yeah.
Tell those stories.
That's a good point. Yes. Right. Yeah. Go into witness protection.
We'll all be shot in black, and we'll have voice the distorters on our, so we don't know who we are.
I'm hiring an actor to play me for that episode as well. So, yes. With that being said, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Safe travels on your trip, Captain. We are dormant for the Christmas holidays. This episode will be coming out again on the 19th. The week after is Christmas week. We will be on holiday break for that week, and then the week after that. So we will not be heard by this audience until 2026, when all bets are off. We're getting close to the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. So I think we'll have some good topics for the month of January. We've got some guests in the pipeline, some crossover episode rumblings with anything else on the Off the Cuff Stuff Network. So anybody who follows us on socials, please keep doing so. So a lot of exciting things coming up in 2026. But for the captain on his end, this is Mike Madden on my end. We hope you all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we will see you down the road. Captain, hit it.
Bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad.
It's a love song. The production's right on. Alan Parsons in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Alan Parsons.